Part 3 of the identification tutorials is going to show you how to use Mark As. Mark As is a property that is shared between Practicam and Practicad. It is usually used for the label templates inside Practicam. For example, imagine we wanted to have two types of labels. One group called green label for jobs that were going out standard, and one group called red label for jobs that were rush ordered. And we wanted these labels to look different. Well, there are tutorials that show you how to design different marked groups and different label types inside Practicam. In this tutorial, we're going to show you how to match Practicad to those groups and then be able to download Ductwork and have the duct go to the proper marked group. For example, first we're going to go into Practicam. Inside Practicam, underneath My Libraries, Preferences, on the right-hand side, we get Mark Groups. And here we've created two mark groups, red label and green label. And there are label templates that have been modified to adjust them so that the red label gets a red border and green label gets a green border. Now we must make sure that when we create these groups inside Practicad that we match it exactly to the name we've got here. And it is case sensitive. So if we call it red label and green label here with capital letters, we must do the same thing inside Practicad. To design them in Practicad, we must first go into the library icon. So we're going to click on the library icon on the Practicad ribbon. If you're using AutoCAD, it'll be in the Express toolbars. And then we're going to go over to the presets section. On the left-hand side, we can see that we've got presets. And if we come down here and open up the presets and go to identification, we're now going to go to the mark or identification type, Mark As. Notice that this choice is blank. We're going to add two different types, red label in capital letters and green label in capital letters. Once we've designed them, we're going to hit the Save key and then exit out of My Library. Now we're going to click on piece number 1, go down to the identification properties, and we're going to add the red label Mark As. Then we're going to go over to piece number 2, fitting 2, and we're going to add Mark As there as green label. We're going to choose our drop-down menu, select green label. Now one thing to point out is you do not need to use the AutoCAD property box in order to give the identification parameters. Just like zone, floor, and system number can be selected out of your workbox, if you go to grab a fitting from your fitting bin, in the parameter box, we have added the fields for special instruction and Mark As. So we can actually adjust it right here before we even place it on the drawing. That would be the preferred way to do it because it's quicker. Once we've got the two ducts chosen with the right Mark As, we're going to go back into Practicam and take a look at what they look like there. Here inside Practicam, we can see we've got duct 1 and 2. If we clicked on duct 1, piece number 1, and go to the Mark As property, we can see that Mark As is set for red label. And if we exit out and go to rec duct piece number 2 and look at the Mark As property, we can see that it's set for green label. And if you look at the label templates, once they're designed correctly, and there's separate tutorials on that, you can see here that we've got rec duct 1 with the red label and rec duct 2 from the green label. And you can control this directly from Practicad. That is how to use the Mark As identification property.